What's going on, people? Gunsblazing back at it again, and welcome to yet another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore. Today we'll be taking a look at a popular choice and personally one of my favorites, Warrior Dai Grepher. And for those that don't know much about him yet, well, it could be pretty surprising. Let's get into it. With a description only consisting of 2 sentences, it's quite a shocker that this guy's story goes so deep. The warrior who can manipulate dragons. And hey, I tell you more about his childhood, but nobody knows his mysterious past. Not even me. But with a little digging, I actually found that this isn't completely true. Although his past is mysterious, there are a couple of details on it that were tucked away in Master Guide 2, which is an official source of Yu-Gi-Oh! Backstory information. Ever since he was young, it reads, the sword was completely a part of him. Keep this detail in mind for later. Even though he was of common birth, in other words born to a poor family, he walked forth with confidence in his swordsmanship. The blade would become his life. While you were sleeping, he studied the blade. He slew various monsters to hone his craft of the blade. As Warrior Dai Grepher was trying to make his mark on the world, he met a wandering warrior woman in the wastelands. Now, for reasons unknown, they became rivals, and Dai Grepher refused to go easy on her just because she was a woman. Unconfirmed sources tell me that our boy DG tried to slide into her DMs, but she shot him down promptly. Yikes. Well, damn, girl. Sheesh. Anyways, what is confirmed is that a mysterious force interrupted their battle, disarming them both, and that same force abducted her into the different dimension. Wandering Lady and Warrior Dai Grepher were both pretty displeased that their battle didn't end in a decisive manner, although it did seem like Dai Grepher would have won. Now, we won't get too much into Wandering Lady's plot or backstory because this is Dai Grepher's video, but she did gain some strength and skills through training in the different dimension. And eventually, she returned to her world through the different dimension gate, where she challenged Warrior Dai Grepher to finish what they started. Now, although she did get stronger through training, Dai Grepher did come up with some new tricks himself. Some new moves, with the same old thirst. Because of this, Warrior Dai Grepher caught her off guard and got her on the ropes once again. But Warrior Lady's time in the different dimension taught her how to create dimensional distortions. She uses one to prevent a critical sword/attack, and then Dai Grepher ends up losing his balance and going all the way through the portal. And this time, he's the one that's sent to the different dimension. Now, Warrior Dai Grepher decided that he was still going to make a name for himself, whether it's in his own world or the one he was just warped to. As you may know, one of Warrior Dai Grepher's redeeming qualities is that he's a great leader. The reason he can control dragons is due to not only his bravery, but also the way he believes in himself and his friends, as cliche as that may sound. So he ends up assembling a team of warriors and spellcasters that help him take down various evil forces, with the warriors fighting on the front lines and the spellcasters on the back lines. For a while, he led his team through many battles against evil forces, and that's how they ended up making a living and earning a name for themselves. But it wouldn't last forever. With war comes casualty. And eventually, as he lost all of his allies one by one to battle, he became the last of the A forces. And so he wandered, cold and all alone. Although he won many battles, all he wanted now was to return to his original home. He took refuge in the woods where he found himself at a peculiar fork in the road. Now, stay with me here. This is where his story branches off in multiple ways due to the nature of alternate timelines. Alternate timelines? Yeah. People before have suggested that there are only 2 alternate timelines from here on out, but I believe that there were 4 of them. 2 for the light path and 2 for the dark path, and these 2 right here are intertwined. So let's label these timelines A, B, and C. A and B are what I would call the dragon timelines. In timeline A, Warrior Dai Grepher picks the light path and encounters Spirit Ryu. The dragon was touched by Dai Grepher's courage and spirit. He also acknowledged how Dai Grepher fought bravely against evil forces in the different dimension. And for this, Spirit Ryu grants him his powers, one of them being the ability to travel through dimensions and return to his own world. This, out of all the timelines, is the most dignified end for Warrior Dai Grepher, a classic happy ending, if you will. Now in timeline B, Warrior Dai Grepher picks the dark path instead. In this path, he finds a set of armor and blades that are extremely enticing, since he's never really worn armor, and dual-wielding weapons would really boost his offensive capabilities. Thinking rashly, he drops the blade that's been with him since his childhood, not knowing that once he did, he lost a part of himself as well. In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Realm, weapons aren't just tools to fight with, but they can even alter the wielder's attributes and abilities. and hence their destiny. Donning the two dark blades, he became Dark Blade. The strongest proof that this is Warrior Dai Grepher is not only his similar stat line, which is 100 off of Warrior Dai Grepher's attack and defense, but the fact that Dark Blade is also a warrior who has the power to manipulate dragons. And similar to how Dai Grepher fused with Spirit Ryu, Dark Blade the Dragon Knight consists of Dark Blade and Pitch Dark Dragon. I, on the other hand, also manipulate my dragon every night. Moving on. Last but not least is Timeline C, which is actually two timelines, a different light timeline and a different dark timeline, but they actually intertwined at one point. So let's get into it. In the alternate light timeline, instead of him meeting Spirit Ryu, Warrior Dai Grepher stumbles upon a chamber with many different weapons, including the Twin Swords of Flashing Light Trice. The sword has a guardian, but it tells him to stand down because he sees the good that is in Dai Grepher's heart. Instead, he allows Guardian Trice to combine his spirit with Grepher, who dual wields the swords. Now that seems pretty simple at first, until we visit the alternate dark timeline, where Warrior Dai Grepher comes across the same weapon chamber, but something strange and crucial happens first. He comes across a dark version of himself, who becomes his adversary. They clashed, but a monster named Umbral Horror Unformed interrupted their duel. It proved to be too strong for Dai Grepher to handle, as he was already weakened by Dark Grepher. With a sinister smile, the dark version of Grepher offers to help Dai Grepher take down the Unformed. Surprised, but left with no other choice, Dai Grepher agrees, and Dark Grepher sacrifices himself in order to take down Unformed. But at what cost? The sacrificial blast not only took down the monster, but it also heavily damaged Dai Grepher's sword in the process, rendering it unusable as it was still stuck inside the monster. That sword was a part of Dai Grepher since his childhood, and not having a weapon felt so unfamiliar to him. He needed to find another weapon as soon as possible, for without one he felt naked. In the weapon chamber, he attempts to grab the gravity axe, but the axe did not think that Warrior Dai Grepher would have the skills to handle it, and so it orders its guardian to prevent Warrior Dai Grepher from touching it, knowing that Dai is only experienced with swords, not axes. So he laid his eyes on another weapon, the Wicked Bow. The sword's guardian resisted him, but he used the last of his blade to slay it. His sword finally breaks in the process. Ha! That was easy, Dai Grepher said to himself as he took up the wicked sword. But eerily, it seemed a little too easy, as if the fiend wanted to be defeated. But why? Turns out it was a trap all along. Warrior Dai Grepher did not know that the guardian is just an extension of the sword, and Bao wanted a new host for himself. Dai Grepher's strong, brawny body was an excellent choice. He refused to give up his body, but eventually the darkness took over his heart, and he had no choice but to give up both. The same passion that Dai Grepher had for destroying evil switched alignments, and now Bao would use that same passion to annihilate the forces of light. He travels through the different dimension gate and attempts to wreak havoc on Warrior Dai Grepher's home planet. Fortunately, there was someone there to intercept him. Dai Grepher's oldest rival stepped in to stop him, and it was none other than Deity Warrior Lady, who sent him flying back through the portal that he came in. Now, after being flung back into the different dimension, this is where the timelines intertwine. Dai Grepher's Timeline C dark form encounters his Timeline C light form. Now, who ended up victorious? It's sad to say that after this point there's only speculation, but what we do know is that there are no future or stronger forms of Lightray Grepher. But Bao in Dai Grepher's body continued to grow and become more evil and powerful. Knowing Lightray Grepher though, he was likely too brave to retreat against his evil self, and so he was probably killed by Bao in battle, who eventually became known as Dark Lucius, powering up even further and becoming unrecognizable. No longer was he the just and heroic warrior we once knew him as. Due to the nature of alternate timelines, Warrior Dai Grepher's story ends happily and as a tragedy at the same time. One thing we can learn for sure from this story with multiple paths is that your decisions create who you are. The weapons you lay your hands on, and those who you choose to form alliances with, will ultimately shape your destiny. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, which I think you did since you made it this far, consider subscribing to my channel for some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore content coming up. The support for these videos have been crazy, and it's been the most successful series on this channel yet. so I really appreciate all the likes and the comments. I honestly can't do it without you guys. Feel free to check out other lore videos on my channel, and as always, you can comment to influence what I choose to make a lore video on next. A quick message for my older subs who miss my dueling gameplay content: I may have a pleasant surprise for you soon, as well as potentially showing you all the progress I've made on my upcoming video game. And all of that is coming in April, just to give you an idea of when. So that's all for now, guys. As usual, have yourselves a good one, and this is Gunsblazing, signing out.
Downtown we let it go, sunset high and our bodies low, blood rush in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones, loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find your place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be.